On the nod! 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 On the nod!
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching On the Nod. I'm Brackett. I'm here today with Brian Keelan from the Bouncing Souls. How are you, Brian?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. Excited to have you on here today. I know we want to talk about some exciting things happening with the Bouncing Souls. So let's get started. First, you guys are going on tour with H2O. When is that starting?
Yes, that is exciting, and that's starting in April. That'll be here before I know it.
Yeah, definitely. Who are the other bands that are supporting you guys?
Dude, I mean, there's different legs of tour all year, so we have all kinds of different support
Okay.
scattered throughout. I haven't been paying that much attention since we made the post, and so like you'd have to just go look at our post. But I don't know. Is School Drugs playing? Dave Haas, I think.
Are the Adolescents supporting you guys at one point?
Maybe the Adolescents.
I feel like I saw that.
Yo, my memory though. I read it and I was like, yeah, I probably like was in on the conversation and decided, and all that stuff happened, and then it's gone. It's like it's just gone. And then I'll like get in the truck and be like, all right, like who playing with again? And then I'll know. It's like I get on I meet the guys at the airport and I'm like, all right, so wait, what are we doing now? Just because like I don't retain this information. I just sort of act on the decisions as they come, and then I'm back to whatever's in front of me, and a lot just doesn't stick.
Well, you guys have gone on so many tours by now and played with so many bands. I imagine that it's hard to keep it straight. I mean, this is what do you even keep track of how many tours you've been on by now?
Fuck no.
No.
I'm like, keeping track of the years at this point. And I'm like, all right, we're at like 36 years or something.
36 years. The Bouncing Souls have been playing for 36 years.
Dude, so fucking blessed, man, is my life. Yeah, since I mean, my entire adulthood, I've been a bouncing soul. So, some shit like that, some kind of like since I was 19 or 18 or something. Dude, I just had breakfast with Pete actually this morning.
Did you?
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
I was going to ask about him. How's he doing?
He's great. He's great. He's my best friend, and he's one of the best humans out there. I'm lucky to know so many great people. Pete's one of them, and yeah, we're excited about all the stuff we got coming up this year. I think the next thing I have is we're gonna go play like the St. Patrick's Day shows with the Dropkick Murphys in Boston. I think there's like nothing more St. Patrick's Day you could do than go to Boston and play with the Dropkick Murphys on St. Patrick's Day. So and Hot Water Music, like also like, so it's gonna be a full bloodbath and beyond.
Is that show like sold out pretty much?
I don't know.
No.
I'll ask these questions literally on my way to the show. I'll be like, hi, where are we playing? Is it sold out?
Well, I'm curious. I mean, if it's not sold out, it's got to be soon, because to be in Boston,
whether it's sold out or like a fuck ton of tickets have been sold, it's kind it depends on how giant the venue is or something. Because I just know it's a big show one way or the other.
Right.
I presume. I mean, it's a big deal for people. People like that. People love that stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, Dropkick is so huge, even in the mainstream. So you're gonna.
That's what I mean. It's like I don't even understand the full scope of it, but I'm excited for it. I love the guys, and it's gonna be cool to see all those guys, the Dropkicks guys. We've known them since the fucking 90s. We've been doing stuff with them, and so it's cool to have friends like that for that long too, who are just like, you just pick up where you left off,
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of right there. People that you've done like a lot of miles with, you just kind of have this bond forever, and The Murphys is one of those bands. Like we've done like full US tours. I think it was some kind of like Epitaph Punkorama tour, us and them and the US that might have been us, them, and the US Bombs. I've got a lot of information in my brain. I want to say that happened though in the 90s.
That sounds like
Okay. Yeah, Al Barr's first tour, maybe. And we know him since the Bruisers, and now it's like he won't even be there. Maybe. Or maybe he will. I don't know.
he's not going to be there. He's not going to sing or anything.
I don't know. You're just like talking to a guy who is oblivious and clueless. But he has not been there singing. That's a thing.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, he's been taking care of his mother, and so he's like dropped off the like tour thing.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't left the band, I don't think, but I think they do it without Al mostly. Kenny sings, I think, and I guess I'll know more in March.
Oh, yeah, in March. Okay. All right. Well, interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens for sure.
It'll
I've been
be
talking to him
fun.
about the show.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who's playing with the band. I was just saying I've been trying to get him on the show too, but it's been hit or miss with talking to him. So that explains a lot that if he's taking care of his mom and everything.
Yeah, he's doing what anyone should.
Yeah, of course, definitely. So I've never asked you, what was Brian like before the Bouncing Souls? Like when you got into punk and everything.
Yeah, I went from BMX being my whole sort of reason for being to skating being my whole reason for being, and all of it music driven. Like music and skating were kind of one thing that was like my whole sauce. That was my whole sort of identity and what motivated me
Oh, yeah?
as a teenager.
All right, so what kind of music were you listening to at the time?
Punk rock, man. Punk rock. High school was all punk rock, I think. With your usual mix, I guess. Like my favorite bands, plural, might have been like 7 Seconds, Youth Brigade, The Damned. I was also, Minor Threat. I was also discovering bands at that point, like very quickly. Bad Brains was also one of my favorite bands. I liked everything aggressive and fast, so because I was skating and fucking a maniac, I didn't know how much of a maniac I was at the time. I just thought like, oh, I guess I didn't really think about it at all, and as an adult, I was like, hold on a sec.
Okay, it's fine.
I was, oh, what does this guy want? There's a guy at the door. Who is it? All right. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, brother? I'm here with the White Rose supply van.
Oh,
if you need anything.
cool.
I'll give you a second, man. If you need a second, take your time.
All right. Tattoo supplies.
Oh, okay.
You got 14 round tubes,
I should.
and can I get a box of those?
Yeah.
And some 7 liners.
7-liner bar, right?
Yeah, bar.
And you want that? I have bug pins, standards, and classics, which are like the bolds.
Standards.
Standards?
Yeah.
So standard 7s and some 14 round tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool?
Cool, thanks.
Give me 1 second, brother.
All right, cool. So I got to take care of business while I'm here.
No worries. No worries. I had no idea about these worlds of tattoo supplies.
Well, they come by every couple weeks, and yeah, usually I miss them. So I'm like, I have to actually need stuff. So I like to support these guys rather than, I don't know. I just like to support them. They get in a van and drive around. They go to all the shops and sell stuff.
Yeah. No, that's good. Smaller companies versus the larger brands and stuff like that.
Yeah, look at me multitasking right now.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I was talking about
Younger you.
yeah. So I had a half pipe in the backyard, I Jersey,
Nice.
it's like a suburban Jersey life. So I was lucky. Our little town, before it was all developed and everything, when we grew up, it was like a lot of woods, and so BMX trails, building jumps, all that kind of shit, all that great stuff, and like you know, we didn't have a car, so we would just like run through the woods and steal plywood. We stole enough wood to build a half. The half pipe in my backyard was built entirely on stolen wood. I did get caught for that one though.
Oh
Um,
no.
I loved skating vert. It did my knees in, but I wouldn't change a thing. I couldn't sit still as a kid, and I had a ton of energy. And my favorite thing was going to shows other than skating, and my favorite things was hanging out with Pete and Greg. That was high school. So
Oh,
I
so you
think I,
read them.
I think we loved that so much that we sort of formulated a whole lifestyle around that. And
Oh,
I think it was maybe the smartest thing I ever did in my life was to do that, to prioritize that at that point. Because I was an artist too, like it was my other favorite thing. And I applied to all these art schools and got accepted and went through those motions. And then that was around the time, we were graduating. We were like, let's blow off that shit and just do the band. And then that's when we moved into our first house, and then the rest is history. So I just never went to art school, but took all the art courses they offered at the local community college, which was more practical, cheaper, and enabled me to do the band at the same time. And I'm glad I took those art classes because I still use what I learned now as a tattooer. I guess
wow.
that's the answer to your question. I guess about young me. It's nothing too shocking there, but picture ADHD maniac, and aggressive music and fast and skating and fucking a million miles an hour and but just fun loving. And as were Pete and Greg, kind of the same.
Right. So that from there started the Bouncing Souls pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Did they skate as well, Pete and Greg? Not really.
Well, yeah, Greg did. Greg would come over and skate my ramps a little bit. I had a bunch of ramps in the driveway too that were just like smaller ramps for like little tricks and stuff. And Greg liked doing that stuff. But yeah, Greg skated a little bit. Pete skated a little bit, but it wasn't like he wasn't all out about that. He was like, he would come over and practice, and like we would jam, and that was like one of our activities, you know. Whereas Greg and I would skate a little bit more after school. Yeah,
Now, how did
this is great. Sorry.
no, it's okay. I was gonna ask, now how did the first album come together?
The first, I think it came together. The first thing we recorded were demos. Wait, hold on a sec. The first things we recorded were demos, but the first vinyl.
So I'm out of 14 rounds, but I
Mhm.
have one box of 14 diamonds if those will work.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Cool.
totally fine.
And then 7 standards for it.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks.
Be 45. Well, if you're doing card, I just got to put the card.
All right.
Give me 2 seconds, brother.
Take your time. Doing an interview.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not important, so
Tell her your story. Come on.
listen, corporate America guy who turned into a tattoo guy. I don't ever want to go back to corporate America.
Well,
I
who
got
does, right?
It's for business management. Sports are cool, but I don't want to work in it.
I think all three of us don't want to work in corporate America.
Yes, we're doing a great job. The three of us are doing a great job.
Exactly. If I can avoid it the rest of my life, then I feel like I did exactly what I needed to do in life.
Right?
Let this be a lesson to you kids. I don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
No, you're good. You're good. I would have told you I don't need anything, but I actually do. So,
Thanks, brother. 46, 27 is your total.
all right. Thanks.
There's that back for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to just follow prompts, receipts on the second screen there if you'd like one today. Sometimes they do it automatically with the cards.
Oh shit! I gotta type my fucking email in.
No, you're good. I'll do it for you. Just tell me what it is.
All right, it's BT.
BT,
Actually, no. Make it Brian BRYAN
BRYA.
at anchorsawaytattoo.com.
My fat with the thumbs, I'll tell you. I'll get there. .com, you said?
Yep, anchorsawaytattoo.com.
You're all good, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Brian. Take care, man.
Yep, you too.
I'll be back Thursday the 27th. If I don't catch you then, it'll be 2 weeks after that.
All right, sounds good.
Have a good one, man. Have a
You
great
too.
day. Have a good interview.
That was kind of fun. Don't worry, there's not going to be a lot of interruptions here.
It's okay.
The shop's pretty quiet. unless, you know, I've got appointments, which I don't today.
If they don't like it, they can just edit it out. So I'm not
Oh
really-
yeah, they'd be like, that whole part where he's fucking buying tattoo needles. Come on. But you got editors, a good thing too.
Yeah, I mean it's all pre-recorded, so you know they don't like things, they can edit them. Or if you didn't like something, we can edit it out.
Right on.
Yeah, but yeah, you're talking about the first album.
About what?
About the first album, how that first
Oh,
album.
okay. The first album was actually like the first full-length vinyl release. The good is called "The Good, the Bad, and the Argyle," and it's named that actually because it's sort of a bit of a compilation of the Argyle EP, which was our first 7-inch, and a collection of other songs. So that's why it's called that. That's the story of the first full length. I think we released the Argyle EP before that, and the Neurotic 7-inch before that. Our very, very, very first 7-inch is called Ugly Bill, and that was so few people know about that one. But it's really fun to listen to. It's not very good, of course. But if you look, I'm gonna like try to aim my phone. So there's all the fucking records.
Right, yeah.
So I can like point and talk like, okay, that's the Good, the Bad, and the Argyle, the yellow one.
Right.
And then came Maniacal Laughter. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to figure out how to do this best. Yeah. Then came yeah, well, anyway, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but Jesus, we've
Wow.
got a lot.
Yeah, you've done so many. It's
Got
crazy.
some kind of 13 full lengths out. This helps me, like the visual aid up here really helps me keep perspective when I'm tattooing people and it comes up, or if I'm, talking about some point in history. Now I just orient like up to those, and it helps me like visually get like a place in the timeline. Like, oh, that was around Summer Vacation album, and now I can see by the albums that that's like getting to be kind of far back in history.
Right.
In the long line of albums, Summer Vacation is like whatever, 02.
I remember when that came out. Yeah.
Those were good times.
Wow.
We're
Yeah.
over here now. We're over here with like I guess the most recent one being 10 Stories High.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then volume 2 before that. Okay, so yeah, blah blah blah. Records, we have them, we put them out. Got a lot of them.
I would say so. Yes. Well, definitely. So how would you say that your sound or the Bouncing Souls have changed in general since the first album until now, until the last one?
Well, certainly I like to think that we've evolved as humans, and then the band, I guess, has certainly evolved with experience too. All the things we've tried that think musically, things that have worked and haven't, and you learn, or at least we learn by our mistakes,
Right.
and we got plenty of those. We got some songs that are like, ooh, kind of cringy, like, but that I think if you're being like your authentic self, you know what I mean. We're just being ourselves, and that's why it's so effortless too, and that's why we never get tired of this, because it's not work. But of course, when you're being sort of that honest, then there's going to be some things you're putting out there that you're like, they don't they don't always sound good forever. You're like, oh, like we tried that, not great. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
something's like a really funny joke when you put it out, and you're like, that's not that funny. But mostly I stand behind everything. I mean, like I said, we like to joke, and there's a couple that make us like kind of maybe there's a couple that we're like, ugh, not that one or something. But like that's kind of like intra-band humor more than anything.
Well, that's to be expected, I think. I mean, you're not gonna necessarily love everything that you've created over the years. I mean, there's gonna be some that you're like,
Yeah, right.
not in love
Exactly.
with. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Definitely. So, before the interview, we were talking about how you guys are working on new music. What should we expect from this new new music from the Bouncing Souls?
Well, I think that it looks like the next thing we're doing is putting out another album. And what's kind of funny about that is we went into the studio. We had 2 weeks with Will Yip. He's the guy that we made the last three things with, and he's fucking awesome. We just like love working with Will Yip. Um, so we booked 2 weeks with him, and we were like, oh, we're gonna do like a song or two. You know, we've got like this one song and this other song, maybe part of a song, and then we're gonna dig in on another volume two style record, which was like something we did with Will, where we did like a semi-acoustic versions, like reimagined versions of older songs in our catalog, just for the hell of it. Just an idea we kind of came up with, like not an acoustic album exactly, but like a, I don't know, bougie medium rock, low key with strings and French horns and soul singers, like just like a, the volume two thing was it was really a good experience for us. And we were able to take some songs where we're like, we really appreciate these lyrics, and like, what would happen if we like, well, how would those lyrics sound if you could kind of hear them more? And so we just sort of went in with sort of like not even a real plan, and we just sort of like broke songs down and rebuilt them around different like George rhythms on the drums. Like, oh, like George has some kind of jazz beat. Like, what do we do? You know, like, can we like play this punk song to that? And whoa, it's a whole different thing, and we can hear all the words, and it's just like a cool thing. So we did this, and we called it Volume Two, kind of a cheeky title, like the volume is turned down to two, or
Oh,
volume, you know, or Volume Two, but there is no Volume One, you know. And
oh, okay.
yeah, so that was like the Volume Two thing. It was like, and it came out exactly like for COVID. So like we never, I don't know if we ever thought we were going to tour on it anyway, but it just wasn't a possibility. And it was just a weird time to try to put a record out. And I don't know. It
Right.
just is what it is. We like it. And we actually ended up like doing some, and we still do, like we do these like acoustic shows where we'll play all the entire volume two album, and we'll like arrange string players and a French horn player and soul singers, and
Wow.
it's like a really cool thing that we started doing. Um,
That sounds
well,
very
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
to like accompany the punk show that we're coming into your town to play. Like, we're gonna come play a punk show, but we're also gonna do this the night before if you want to come and just like sit down and listen to like kind of like a nice thing, you know, or whatever. So it's just something we're fucking around with, the volume two concept. So back to my story, we had 2 weeks booked with Will, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do like one, like, you know, full band song, maybe two, and then we're gonna dig into volume two, another record like that, which we already have the title for the album. It's gonna be Volume Two, Volume Two.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Just like, I don't know, we just think it's funny, but whatever. So we went in there, we recorded two songs that were fucking, we thought, pretty fucking awesome. And then the next day, I mean, in the first 2 days, we recorded these songs, and then the next day we did like a volume two version of one of these new songs, and then like the next day we basically constructed and recorded a third new full band song, and then the next day a fourth new full band song, and then we ran out of, that was it, that was all our time basically. We like just finished those up and sang on them and did everything else and kind of finished all the tracking for those, and came out of there with four new songs plus like a alternate version of one of them, so five new recordings.
Wow.
And we're like, shit, I guess fuck the volume two thing, I guess we're making a full record again. So that's like, I guess the news, we're going to put out a full record, a new full length, um I guess early next year, because this year's already all booked up and we got all these tours, and we have another half of a record to write and record still. But one of the one of these new recordings we just did, I think we're going to put out maybe in April, in time for the first leg of this H2O tour we're doing.
Okay.
So we'll have like new music to kind of like be about when we're out on tour. And then so we're gonna like, yeah, quote unquote drop a single I think in April, and maybe another single again in like September, when like those one of those other later in the year H2O legs happens.
Okay.
And and then another single in December.
Wow.
So like 3 new songs this year, and then like that's all part of, I guess, kind of part of the lead up to like a full length release next
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna be like, just kind of like, there's gonna be new music coming out.
And that's a taste of what's to come.
Yeah, like a song, I
Yeah.
mean, our mentality is like album, album, album. But like, I guess this whole world is a lot like shorter attention span than that. And like one song at a time really works. And, you know, I mean, so that this just works. It's just like, it'll feel like new music, a new music year, even though it's not a full ass record. And then next year it'll be a full ass record. And then like,
Okay.
then who knows? Maybe then we'll do volume two after that. But we would just went in thinking we were doing volume two, because that was always the plan. Like, we're gonna do volume two, then we're gonna do a loud record, and then we're gonna do volume two, and just like alternate. But it's just like we're gonna do a full band record.
Okay, cool. Cool. I definitely want to hear that with French horns and everything. I mean, that's so unexpected for you guys, and I would love to hear that sound.
Oh yeah, well, you can. You can just like just listen to it. It's on
Yeah.
Spotify and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, give it a listen. Some of those songs like are as good or better than the original versions. Like like with that record, we like, some of them are just like an acoustic version of a song that and you're like, okay, that's good if I wanted that. But then like some of the standout songs on that record are like truly alternate sort of forms of those songs, and like they kind of became something else. Like Highway Kings, Simple Man, and Ghost on the Boardwalk are like my 3 favorites on volume 2, because they have a different feel to them, and we kind of like sort of stretched our creative juices out a little bit more, ended up with something new, kind of created something new. I mean, all of it's all pretty much like that. I mean, Argyle is like that too. It's like a whole different rhythm, and it's just like a whole different sort of phrasing, and it's just like a really cool way. And that was like, Argyle was one of my picks because I always loved the words to that song, but I was like, man, like maybe the words will get their due a little bit better if we try this other version. And so volume 2 was like a personal success for us. And yeah, then we put out 10 Stories High, and that went well. We toured, and then here we are. We got new music. And fuck, I just wrote a song yesterday. It's
Really?
kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to write songs these days because the fucking state of things.
Right.
It's just kind of pouring out of us right now. I mean, not to say we're writing a whole fucking bitchy political, you know, thing per se, but like it is sort of also inspiring us to feel like we have to do something and say something and
Yeah.
show up for this moment, because it's just like, fuck, it just feels, I don't want to go, as I've been telling people, don't get me started, because if I start, I just keep going and I'll just rant. And I don't need to make this a political rant, but let's just say it feels important to say something and to be a part of this, what I consider to be a sort of all out um, good versus evil battle
Right. Yeah. I can see that.
for the soul of this country, and just for, marginalized people and people that are getting bullied and people that are getting fucked with, and a whole country that's basically getting fucked over. I mean, if you're paying attention, you know.
Yeah. Would you say that a lot of your songwriting is inspired by your life and what's happening around you?
Well, all of it is absolutely inspired. I mean, it all comes from things we feel, so
Right.
like often that's personal experiences and just feelings we have about things, and this is just kind of so in our face that it is part of things we feel. It qualifies as things we feel, and we get together and it just sort of becomes part of the conversation, and then it just makes its way into the lyrics. And it isn't to say, oh, we're gonna write a fucking Dead Kennedys record right now and like and every song is going to be a political rant. I'm not saying that. Um, they're totally bouncing soul songs. The ones that we have recorded they're just sort of maybe a direct or indirect response to the sort of climate and the way we feel, and people we talk to and the way people we talk to feel. And I'm not trying to be like our side, their side. I just mean like, like, hey, if you're feeling very anxious and depressed, here's a bouncing soul song. Or, like, let's get together. And, you know, I don't know. I don't want to, it's just like, yeah, it's sort of, it's in the lyrics. You'll sort of know when you hear it. Be like, it indirectly, but you know what it's about, kind of thing.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. Now, do you all contribute to the songwriting?
Yeah. This is like it's a collaboration. It's always been a collaboration. Me, Pete, and Greg. Um, and now like these songs over the years, there's been different ways that we've written together and separately, and then everyone brings their notebooks out, and then we kind of like pile our lyrics on into each other's songs, and then you end up with something better than any one person could have written. That's the usual. Um, but like these songs we wrote largely like in the moment, in person, together in a room. So George is walking by commenting and fucking, so George is in it too. It's like the more the merrier to a point. You get everybody sort of like harumph on an idea, and you end up with something better.
Right. I can see that. Definitely.
hmm the song that I mentioned that I wrote yesterday, like wrote three verses and a chorus and sent it to the guys. I wrote two verses, sent it to them just to see how they felt about it, and they're like, "That's pretty good stuff, yeah." And then I had time that day, and I wrote another verse and a chorus, and they're stoked, and they're like, "It's badass." But I'm like, "Yeah, when we get together, we're gonna finish the song." You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
With us plus Will Yip, we have sort of a style where one of us might have most of a song, or we might have like two of us or three of us have a song written together. We show it to Will, and basically we kind of like keep the best parts and keep the little golden nugget, throw the rest out, and build a new song around the best part. And then you've got all these lyrics on a page that you can pick and choose from, because maybe there's new phrasing and there's new cadence, there's new chords. All that stuff like is just like, it's not written in stone until it's recorded. So we're just kind of like constantly creating, and it really starts spinning really fast when we're all together in a room. And the studio is great that way, because like maybe one person is tracking and everybody else is just waiting, sitting on a couch, and that's when you're working together with your notebook and the guitar, and you're just like fleshing out a song. By the time like somebody's done tracking something, you're like, we got this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just great. And it's like, that's when it's working at its best, and it was working so much at its best on this last session that it changed our whole course and our whole direction and our whole decision. Like, oh, let's fucking put out a record. Like, and if we had more time, we would have banged out the rest of the record, right? Like, just having nothing. I feel like we could have just written a complete record on the spot. Like, it's just kind of gushing out of us right now, and that's a really good thing. We're very inspired. So, and I can't wait for people to hear these songs that we recorded already. They're nuts. It's a funny story. Like the first like song we're going to release in April was supposed to be an alternate version, like a volume 2 version of True Believers.
Oh,
Where,
really?
yeah, because like my whole thing with the volume 2 thing is like, I don't want to just do like an unplugged True Believers. Like, sure, we can do that, but like this is an opportunity just to write new music. And then that's kind of like sort of what I said about the volume 2 songs I really liked on volume 2. And then so we started with like a reggae baseline inspiration, and kind of like wrote new music, which turned into like obviously not reggae at all, but like a little bit inspired by, I guess, some elements of it. But it's like this full blown Bouncing Souls like party song. Like musically, it's just like a big giant fucking sing along. But it's really funny because you could sing True Believers to it in a whole different way. It's like it's like I met some people all the way, some of them split and it was like a whole different like it was like this it was like it was the way this song came together, like you couldn't have planned it, you know. It had so many incarnations, and it started out almost like a calypso True Believers for a minute. It was like
So can you combo to it?
just like we were just like playing around with different ways of like fitting the words and just having fun because I was like, I want to do a like for volume two, I want to do like a Motown song. I want to do a fucking
Wow.
like everything I listen to, dub music and Motown, like whatever, like within reason and within like what feels appropriate and doesn't feel like ridiculous. But I'm inspired by all this different kinds of music that I'm listening to all the time at work. And so I wanted to go all over the place. And that's where this thing started with the True Believers cover. And then we like, and we actually recorded it, like sort of demoed it, went back to our Airbnb that night and woke up the next day and listened to it. And we were all kind of like, this song's amazing, but it would be so much better if it wasn't a True Believers version. If it didn't have the True Believers words on it, it could be so much bigger, you know? And so that's what we did. And we like went into the studio that day after our breakfast and we're like, Will, we want to talk to you. And he was like, oh, what are you firing me? You know, he was all because George got there first. He's like, hey man, like the guys want to talk to you. And Will's like, dude, what are these guys trying to fucking talk to me? Like acting like they're, and we were like, Will, we just don't want to do it like that. We want to fucking make a whole record. And we had all this, like, we'd made up our minds at breakfast that we were like going to ditch the whole volume two idea, do a rock record, throw out the True Believers lyrics. And we went in and we wrote like a whole new song lyrically in this, that, and recorded it that day. Like we were just like, just like trading verses, throwing out words. It's just so easy when you're just kind of inspired and you're just moving, you know? And I've like sort of kept that inspiration since leaving the studio, coming back here. It's great. I'm just like, it's just kind of keep on flowing out of me, you know?
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to hear what you've come up with.
I am too, man. I am too. It's so good. It's right here in my phone. People who get tattooed by me always, they're gonna hear it whether they want to or not. This is how it works. I'm like, this is just a rough demo, but check this out. Like, I just want to see you like get opinions, and I just want to listen to it myself and sort of subject people to it. But some people are like, okay. Some people are like, this is incredible. You know, it depends on where they stand on the band, I guess. But
Oh,
it's fun for me, you know. And it was like that. It's like every new record is like that too. For like when we have a new record, it's gonna be like just that record playing at my shop for like weeks. Not entirely, of course, but I'm like definitely gonna play it. I'm like absorbing it and processing it and obsessing, you know, even after it's done for a while. And then I don't want to hear it. After that, I just don't want to hear it for a long, long time.
have like a warning, like in front of the shop, like this record will be playing 24 hours a day.
Yeah, or no, or, you know, it's like I'll play, you know, I drive my girls to school and like we're listening to 10 Stories High over and like that's like drilled into their little brains.
Oh gosh.
More branching souls, Daddy. You know, it's cool that they love it. You know, they're like Uncle George, Uncle Pete, Uncle Greg, and Uncle George. They've got the coolest uncles. You know.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. I would say so.
Yeah, they're cool. I like came home from the studio with a beard because I for some reason I kind of do like people get like playoff beards. I just don't shave in the studio. I came home with a 2-week beard and they're like, "You look like Uncle George," you know. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, Uncle George." And then I make them listen to the new songs.
Oh, did they give you, so they give you their opinion and everything?
Yeah, they just start dancing. I mean, they're just stoked. They're so cool.
It sounds like it.
This is them. This is them through the years. This is how long my shop's been open, which is crazy because I put this picture up when it was current. You know, all these pictures are like them through the years, right? This is like their 3-year-old picture, my favorites. I can't bring them down. That's like the 4-year-olds. This is the 5 and 4-year-olds versions.
They're adorable. They're
They
very,
are
very cute.
nonstop adorable.
I don't know what you're gonna do when they start dating, Brian.
Oh, dude. That's just, oh yeah, and that's them at like 2. I don't know either, man. I don't know either. I gotta like,
You're gonna God, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so funny.
I'm already, it's like I'm already working on my energy and like, I'm still in the process of trying to like stop being a fucking maniac, and like you have to like, reason with people, and you can't like, you know what I mean? Like I'm literally working on like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tripping on people, and like, you're not 21, you're not a 20-year-old fucking skinhead like looking for fights, and all that shit. It's hard to I don't know. I'm still evolving, I guess. But hopefully by the time they're teenagers, I'm not gonna think that way and not gonna be like, oh, and look, hey man, hold on. I got Pete. I got fucking Pete at the door.
Oh my God, I was just gonna see.
Oh, yeah. Dude, thanks.
It's Brackett.
My glasses on.
It's
Oh yeah,
Brackett.
what's up? How you doing?
Hey,
What's
good.
happening? Good to see you.
I'm interviewing Brian.
Oh yeah, you are. Awesome. How's
Dude.
it going?
Pete just brought me my money from the beach rats
Want some
stuff.
money, dude.
Beach rats getting paid.
Not dope.
I was gonna tell you, if you guys want to ever come back on to promote one of the singles, that you should have Pete come on with you. And here it is.
One of the singles.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys
I'm
want to.
here.
Because I'm starting a new show called The Lowdown with Brackett, where it's only going to be like 15 minutes long. And it's only going to have like people come on to promote like singles or a new album or a tour or whatever. So if you guys want to come on that and just like promote like a single for like 15 minutes, yeah, you guys totally can. So
Promo, dude.
We love that shit. We're just here
We
anyway.
know what to do. You know.
We can just talk about a song.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
telling him about the new music.
Yeah. We'll come back and we'll do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, I would love to see Pete too, and here you are.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Yeah. I can't stay though. I gotta get home. I have a package coming that I signed for.
All right. I'm gonna get you these boots.
Yeah.
All right. I got to get something for Pete. Here, can you talk to Pete for a minute? I got to run out to my car.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, how are you? How have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I do this show now called On the Nod. It's been on for like 9 years. Started like in LA. So I got hired like last year. I've done like 60 interviews so far.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I've been talking to Brian about doing it forever, and finally with this tour coming up that you guys are going on, the H2O tour, we've been promoting it with this episode.
Okay.
So, and then
Cool.
you guys are working on new music, so we're promoting that too.
Yeah.
In the shop, I was going to start talking to him about the shop and promoting that. So but yeah, like I was saying, definitely come on the new show that we're doing and promote the single and everything. So that would be really cool.
Yeah, we'd love to. That'd be fucking awesome. How you been?
But good. And you and Brian you have kids now, right?
Yeah, a bunch of dads. Just like
I
dad
know,
life,
a bunch of dads. That's
Dadding around.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What do you have? Do you have a daughter or son, or what do you have?
I have a little boy. He's almost 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah. A little guy. Yeah, he's awesome.
That's so cool. And they're like, they have his daughters and your son have like the coolest uncles.
Yeah, we got a good crew,
Definitely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's so
Oh yeah. But I gotta run though, but I would love to be a part of that. That'd be awesome.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll talk to Brian about setting something up and working out a date for that.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
All right. Later. Dude, thanks so much.
Yeah, bud.
Have fun, bro.
All right.
Bye.
See you later and forever.
See you later and forever.
Oh, that's so cute. You guys have to wave up to each other.
Bye, best friend.
Bye.
Dude, that's a pretty good inside joke, actually. My ex-girlfriend was like, busting my chops, and she's like, "Oh, is that your BFF?" You know. And like, I guess I don't know if Pete was there or I told Pete that, and then like, and then and we like had a chuckle about it, and then when he left, he's like, "See you later and forever," and that just became like an inside joke that we rock.
It's cute. I thought it was totally a BFF thing.
It is. It's like a total BFF thing, but we're like half making fun of the whole thing. But you know, we're the dorks.
Oh, well, hey, let's talk about your shop and your art before I let you go. I definitely want to, yeah, talk about that side of you because that is a whole other important side of Brian Keelan. You've been doing art just as long as you've been doing music, correct?
Correct.
All
So
right.
that's like forever.
And like you were saying earlier, you took some classes at a community college. You created the actual logo. I forgot what you called him. The black and
The
yellow.
guy.
The what?
The guy. I never named him, and so he's just been the guy forever.
You never named him? I thought you named him.
No, he's no name. He's actually like sort of a self-portrait originally. Like the original guy was like this guy, you know, the like he has
Yeah.
hands. He's like, come on, you know. That guy. That's like was a based off of a feeling I was trying to illustrate. I realized later, like, oh, that's just like a self-portrait thing. And then I featured him as like just the head, you know, and then he was like, then we called him like dramatic lighting guy because he's like, people don't realize that the Souls logo, the round logo, is actually a face that's like backlit. So his forehead is blackened out and his face is blackened out, and it's just kind of like a highlight, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It makes sense to me.
The guy, yeah. So the guy's like, once I guess like I guess it's Summer Vacation is where he is first featured on the front cover
Right. Okay.
as a son.
Yeah.
And you know, he's painted into the moon on Anchors Away, and then he's on every cover ever since. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like this is like our Eddie if like Iron Maiden has Eddie.
Skateboard.
What's that?
He was on the skateboard too. I saw over there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
skateboard.
What do I got a skate? Oh, I got a skateboard over here somewhere. Oh yeah, right. I do. On top of the thing. Yeah, that's like the guy. He's the logo. He's the guy. He's just sort of a spirit, a soul.
Okay, so yeah, so people can come here and get tattooed by yours truly if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I do here, full time. When I'm not on tour, I'm here at my shop. They could check out my work. You know, people probably, I don't even have to say it, right? I mean, everyone's just on Instagram. My shop is an Instagram page. That's where the tattoos mostly are. That's
What's
all. Yeah, I'm findable to anyone who wants to. You know.
What's the shop name?
Oh, the shop name, Anchors Away Tattoo.
Anchors Away Tattoo in New York, right?
No, New Jersey, Bradley Beach.
New Jersey, Brighton Beach.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I thought New York. So
Well, I lived there forever, but yeah, this is it. This is the name of the shop, but backwards. Or
okay.
maybe it's forwards because I got my camera flipped backwards.
No, yeah, no. Anchors Away backwards.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I just want to make sure everybody knew where it was.
yeah.
And they could even make an appointment online, right? Or no?
Well, yeah, people can just email me, Brian, Bryan at anchorsawaytattoo.com.
Okay.
And that's how people just book appointments with me.
Okay.
It's just that easy.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
You have other artists obviously that work there too, right?
Yeah, not today, but yeah, I got a guy who comes in on Wednesdays and does walk-ins. And that's it. Like I've always had one guy that I worked here, one man or woman that I've worked here over the years with. And I'm currently between coworkers, really. I don't have a full-time artist here. So if anybody watching this wants to reach out, I am hiring. I'm just too, I don't know what the word is. I've hesitated to put an ad out for some reason. So, but I guess I'm kind of like saying it now.
Okay.
I'm looking for a good tattooer, with experience and like is all grown up and you know can kind of take care of themselves. This is like
Sure.
I don't want to be someone's boss. I just want someone to work alongside with and learn from. That would be nice. Someone to just bullshit with and fucking smoke weed with.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Job at
Yeah.
Angry Tattoo with Brian Keeneland is
Yeah.
available.
Hit me up. I'm hiring ish.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before I let you go?
No, this is great. I got to pick up my girls from school pretty soon, so I'm gonna get some work done and play some bass. I'm playing like I come here when I'm not tattooing, and I either paint or I play bass. Right. So this is my shop bass. My little setup over here.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, I get this little P bass, and I got this painting going. So I got just like shit to do all the time here, but fun, good shit. And then I got to pick up the girls and then go play with them.
Awesome. That sounds fun.
Yep.
How old are they now?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Oh, okay. They're only a year apart. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
They're actually only 3 months apart.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're adopted, so you can do that physically.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Aw. Oh,
Yeah.
have fun. Hang out when I'm done recording. Hang out for a second when I'm done recording.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, everybody. Well, you've been watching On the Nod. I'm Brackett. I've been here with Brian Keeneland from the Bouncing Souls. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you. Good catching up.
Yep. Take care.
You too.